with that, I want to shift over to Dhabit in Brunei, because Dhabit, you were a graduate from the Startup Bootcamp and Accelerator program that was co-hosted by Jerusalem Enterprise and Golden Equator Singapore. Like I said, I think this is a very great example, a very good example of public-private type of collaboration. In the next few minutes, please do share with us your experience and how it has helped you with what you are doing now. So David, over to you, the floor is yours. If you could unmute your mic. Yes.
Hello. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. First of all, I'm really grateful and honored to be here with all of the amazing speakers in this panel, and also to the wonderful audience after the sessions. So when I started back then, I was actually juggling between trying to run a startup and also at the same time being a student trying to pursue my higher national diploma, right? So at that point of time, I was also clueless and everything was all over the place. So honestly, I came from a IT background, okay, from secondary school up until my diploma level. I don't know how to do proper accounting. I don't know how to plan for success roadmap. Okay, and then I don't have a network of people that can help me and guide me throughout the journey. So I've never seen a lean canvas before. So it's alien to me, right? So based on a recommendation from a good friend of mine, he said, "Hey, David, I think you should join their micro bootcamp program, so and see if they can help you out, right?" So I decided to participate, and I got into the program. So I was also in the cycle 3 of the program. I think it was back in 2019. So the program was co-organized by Jerusalem Enterprise, or in short, is there, and also Golden Equator Consulting from Singapore, right? So actually, from there onwards, I was able to meet with a lot of new people who shared the same vision as me, and those who aspire of being an entrepreneur. So we also learn about each other's business, each other's challenges, and we together find ways on how to find a solution to our own challenges, which is quite good, right? Because the Golden Equator team of mentors also conducted a range of classes. Okay, so they aim to equip us with standard skill set and knowledge, and also how to run a successful startup. And yes, they did, right? So they equip us with all of the basic knowledge in accounting, in marketing, in networking, and so on and so forth. So after that, I was assigned a mentor during both programs. One of the mentors that was assigned to me was Adam Splinter. He was the managing partner of Golden Equator itself. So whatever entrepreneurship backgrounds that he has, he shares it with all of us, including me as the mentees. So I find that it's a really great type of partnerships between me and the consulting firms, and also there being on the other part, bringing or being the co-host of the program. They also help me out with several other things pertaining to my business, right? So at the end of the bootcamp, they actually give out some perks for example, to use some of the facilities that are being provided by DARE and the Center Incubation Space. So it is known as the only startup hub in Brunei. It's just a small space in the middle of the city, but that's where all of the entrepreneurs gather, share ideas, change solutions and such, right? And that's where we can see amazing partnerships happen all the time. So it's not just from the private sector itself, but also from the public and also from the government sectors. Okay. So I was I was really glad that I joined both programs. That it really helped me a lot, even up until this day. I'm still connecting with them, and they also come up with several other tenders or contracts that they specialize for startups to apply, right? So this is another way of them trying to help these little startups to navigate through the, now we know that the economy is quite competitive, right? So it's hard when you are just a small fish in the oceans fighting with a big whale, right? So at the end of the day, they also provide a co-matching grant for student graduates, which can be up to 10K, which is quite a lot to kickstart your business, and then a maximum of 20K for expansions. But nevertheless, both organizations have helped me a lot throughout my entrepreneurship journey. Those skills and knowledge that I've learned helped me a lot in navigating through the challenges that I face at the moment, especially in the digitally transformed era.
Thanks so much. Yeah. Thanks so much, Dhabit. Yeah, really, it's very important, especially among entrepreneurs, even for myself in this whole equation, that there is communication, there is that interaction between entrepreneurs to entrepreneurs, those that are starting up and those that are more established, so that there is also a knowledge transfer. So thank you so much for sharing that. I want to hold you, I want to just keep you on, because for the next round of questions, I will start with you. In the area of digital media and marketing, how important is tripartite partnerships to you? And I think if we look at Brunei, what more do you think can be done to foster greater collaborations? Yeah, if you could share your thoughts, please.
Right. Personally, I think, first of all, I think the Brunei government have done quite an impressive job in the recent years in trying to foster greater collaborations between the government itself, the private sectors, and people in the nations, right? So even before the pandemic hits, there were quite a lot of social dialogue being carried out to discuss on important social issues, and then economic development, our unemployment issues, among others, right? So the efforts also continue to expand during the pandemic itself, through online webinars and even after the lockdown. The involvement of the government, the industry leaders, as well as the people in general, key towards achieving competitive advantage, right? So I solely believe in this actually. So when all of these trees partner up together, right? So it can bring a lot of competitive edge to the economy. It also brings towards innovations and the overall national progress, right? So especially in the post-pandemic, where the digital era is now booming, right? So I think the Brunei government, with the consent of His Majesty the Sultan, have introduced the Digital Economic Council, which is called DEC, right? It is to facilitate and support the growth of digital transformation in the nation. But it is also to foster collaborations between the three components in the tripartite partnerships, right? And with the introduction of the Digital Economy Master Plan I think back in 2020, right? So it embodies the visions, the enablers, and the strategies on digital economy to propel the nation as a smart nation. This is the visions that Brunei have, right? So I think it's also a great example of a working collaboration between the government and the private sectors. Okay? Learning institutions, for example, NGOs, and also the people in general. So the result of this collaboration, I think it will also help digital media business like us, right? Not only in the digital marketing field or in the digital business field, right? So it helps to expand not only throughout the nations, but also to be able for us to make business beyond the borders. with the help of the government itself and other parts of the tripartite partnerships. So we can see that the smaller startups are now working with the bigger corporations in Brunei. Okay, so it's not just the bigger corporation monopolizing the industry itself, but they are also helping us, because it's like, you know, when you are an expert in baking, for example, right? So it's not necessarily that you are an expert in science. So it's definitely that you need other people's expertise to combine with everything that you have, so that you can produce a very good results. So now the government is also in line with the digital economy master plan that Brunei have. They're also working with the private sectors to actually expand the nationwide payment system, proper digital healthcare, and among others. So I think continuous efforts to identify gaps and challenges, including the partnerships with international organizations, for example, right? So it's not just internal parties that we're dealing with, but I think it's also important to have collaborations from the outside parties from international level. Okay, so I think continuous efforts on this will help the nations to actually propel to become one of the smart nations in the Southeast Asian region.
Thank you so much, Dhabit. Very good sharing, especially when you were talking about really that continued engagement to identify complementary strengths, so that we can foster greater collaboration, not just domestically but also cross-border. I think that's very important, especially as we go post-pandemic, in the whole digital economy and the digital transformation age. So thank you so much for sharing